Wake up, it's prime time.
Yo, what's good, family? Welcome to another episode of Late Night Traffic Report with your boy, Mr. Sincere.
And Big Mike.
Tonight, we have a really good one. Brotherhood under construction. We ask, where did the love go? We used to build each other. Now we scroll past one another. Brotherhood ain't dead. It's just being unfollowed. Once upon a time, we had a crew. Late night, loud laughs, inside jokes, loyalty. But somewhere between adulting, healing, ego, and the grind, we started answering less, texting less, showing up less, and ultimately we don't show up at all. Tonight we ask, what happened to that Black brotherhood? And most importantly, is it too late to rebuild? We normalize fallouts. Oftentimes, we never ask why. So let's talk about that tonight. From ride or die to out of sight. How did we get there?
That's a good question. I'm gonna go back to where you say we used to text, we used to communicate, things of that nature. In my opinion, a lot of selfish. We became self-oriented. It's about me. And we started chasing the wrong things. Instead of chasing friendship and true loyalty, we started chasing the dollar or chasing how can I get my next come up. And when you start moving in a selfish mode, you forget about the most important thing. My friends. We came up together, we supported each other during good times and bad times, through the struggles, through the whatever, the ups and downs, to now, hey, I'm moving different. And if I say, hey, I'm not moving like that no more, friends look at you as weak now. Man, he ain't moving like that no more. So you become an obstacle or somebody that's you're different. But now you get left behind. Not that you want to follow, but we lose our friendship. We lose what is important to us.
But why? You said a lot, and there's a lot to unpack there, right? And that's why I said in the opening, there's many factors
Right.
why we drift away from our day ones, right? And I think that, in our community, we often make the mistake because we knew someone a long time.
Right.
We put them in the friendship bucket or the brother bucket, and
That's
we
good.
shouldn't, right?
That's good. That's good.
I think that, as you grow, it's okay.
To grow apart.
You're gonna grow apart,
Yes.
right? Because priorities are different, the way we look at life, the way we address things. Say, for example, I can't hang out with my single friends like I used to, because I'm a married man.
Amen.
And married men around single men,
It's trouble.
that's a bad equation.
It's trouble. It's trouble.
You know what I mean? That's a very
Trouble,
bad
trouble.
equation.
And that's
So-
a for sure right on.
I do think that we do get caught up in what we call life.
Yes.
And we oftentimes may use that as an excuse. And here's why I say that. When you look at friendship or brotherhood, going back into the day, you had the ride or die,
Right.
your crew, right? Y'all did everything together. You spent the most of your day with them, your most productive hours. Every day you talked.
Yes.
Every day you hung out. And, obviously as you mature and you grow up and you become a man and you have become a father and a
Correct.
husband, you can't do those things.
You shouldn't. Let me rephrase that. You should.
You shouldn't do those things, right? Because your family should be your number one priority.
Correct.
But I think there's a lot of relationships that fall out without resolution. And yeah, it could be just as simple as you growing apart and you've grown, but I do think that those people may still have a place in your life. It's just not at the same level. The relationship is not the same.
Correct.
And that doesn't mean that I don't love you or have love for you. It just means that me and you are operating in different circles and different levels.
Correct.
And, the funny thing about it is, a personal experience that I recently had, one of my friends that I knew since I was a shorty, very young, he was like my brother. right? Like seriously, like my brother. You know, I talked to you about this. I have 3 buckets that I put people in, right? So, you know, the first bucket is obviously, you know, it's acquaintances, it's associates, and then you're like my family. So
Right.
when I put you in that third bucket, you know, you're my brother from another mother, right? So that's a different category. But, you know, he was really my brother. I mean, we did a lot of things together. We were juvenile delinquents together. We did a lot of illegal activities, and we did a whole lot
A whole
together,
lot together.
right?
A
We
whole
did, let's
lot.
just say that. And, you know, over the years, we kind of grew apart. You know, I had a breakthrough in my life or a life changing experience that kind of took me out of the streets and things that I was doing. He stayed, he doubled down, he wanted to be the best of that realm, right? And, thanks to God, because that's the only person I can give it to, right?
Yes, sir.
You know, opened my eyes, and actually I got in trouble, but this trouble actually gave me a way out.
Correct.
And, long story short, he kept doing what he was doing. I kept doing what I was doing, but on 2 different paths. And, he kept going in and out of prison, federal prison for, you know, being a street pharmacist, illegal narcotics, things like that. Just kept giving these people, you know, decades of his life eventually. You know what I
For
mean?
free.
And, after many years, we ended up losing contact because obviously, you know, I'm a civilian now. I'm a tax paying,
Yeah. You
law
don't
abiding
live by those
citizen.
other
I don't live
laws.
by those rules no more, right?
Save your money, pay your taxes, don't go to jail.
So when he got out, you know, he and I connected and whatnot, and it's just like, you know, he told me he's the same. And that really just kind of like put something on my heart to say that I can't even really communicate with you because
Baffled.
if you've been locked up for 20 years and you still the same, you don't fit in my world right now. And it's not about me thinking I'm better. It's not about me judging them. It's about me protecting what I built,
Correct.
right? And the reason why I bring that up is that's my experience is millions of other people experience. It may not be going to prison or being in the streets, but it's just when you really wake up and you really assess the situation and say, hey, we're not going in the same direction. You know, my grandmother used to tell me this all the time. All the people that come with you can't go with you.
Can't go with you.
And I didn't know what the hell she was talking
Not
about
at that age. Not
at that age, right?
Not at that age.
But it's so valid now when you think about that. And, having those relationships, as men, right? There shouldn't be a lot of complexities in our relationships. And I talk about this all the time, right? You know, for men, it's usually very simple.
Right.
You like sports, I like sports. You like to drink, I like to drink.
Whatever it is.
Whatever it is. I mean,
are.
you know what I'm saying? So I think like relationships go bad when layers of unnecessary complexity is added.
Absolutely. You say a whole lot of great things. One of the things you say that I like to use in my life, I have friends and I have acquaintances.
Yep.
And a lot of people confuse the two.
Oh yeah.
Because I know a lot of people don't mean I have a lot of friends. And ride or die doesn't mean we're friends. A lot of times you just acquaintance. You just at that moment, y'all both are traveling the same path. But like you said, when I get a family, and sometimes it's not even a family, it's just I get this.
Wanting more.
I want something different.
Yeah.
I want more, but I want it different.
Yeah.
And a person that does time, and you come back and you say, I'm still the same, that's a problem. But it's not a problem with you, but in our culture, we make it seem like a problem with the dude that doesn't want to do what they used to do 20 years ago. No, the problem ain't with him, the problem is with the person that says, I haven't changed. What you mean you haven't changed? Under all circumstances, whether it's you served time or you didn't, in 20 years, something should have changed.
Absolutely.
And every day, everyone has a chance to make a choice. Every day.
Yep.
Whether it's a bad choice or a good choice. But everybody has a chance to make a choice. And if you choose to be the same and I choose not to walk with you, why am I the bad guy?
Yeah.
Because I want better. And in our culture, we penalize and celebrate people that choose to stay the same.
Right.
The person that chooses to do it differently and elevate, we got all kind of names for them, simps and weak and this and that. But our culture has caused a lot of young men and young women to go down a path they really don't want to go because they don't want to be seen as you're a sellout.
So let's talk about that, right? Because I think that what I just described, that may be, I think it's normal. I think, like I said, I think a lot of people share that same story with one or multiple people in their life. But I also think that there's an unspoken grief around losing your brother, not to death, not to circumstance, but just distance.
Why?
That's what we need to talk about. Why?
But why?
So is it really about, I mean, you can lose brothers or, because I don't want to talk about like, associates or acquaintances. Those are surface level relationships, right? So I really want to focus the conversation on losing someone who you said was your brother. Just like, similar to the situation I just explained, my personal experience. It's almost like a guilt, or it can be a grief there because in our community it's all about keeping it real, keeping it a buck, keeping it funky, right? Staying 10 toes down. If someone did something ever for you, you almost feel like there's an indebtedness that is never paid.
Right.
So you kind of feel, because I'm speaking, from my situation. I kind of feel, I don't want to say sad, but I feel I learned a lot from this person, and this person was there for me. It's almost like I feel like I want to do something or I should do something, but I also understand that I can't involve myself, with this person because I think they're doing the same thing that got them locked up for 20 years.
Correct.
So I really want to talk about like what happens when you are the most successful in your old circle or even in your current circle. And, men at our core, we're very competitive, right? Some men acknowledge it, others do not, but men are very competitive, right? And one thing that I've never done, I never compare myself to the next man or my close circle. Like, I'm one of those type of brothers that, a lot of people say it, but I live it. What's for you is for you.
It's for you.
Right? Now, I would not be telling the truth if I didn't ever say that I went to somebody and asked, how did you do that? But that's a difference,
That's a
right?
difference. You're not comparing.
I'm not comparing, but look.
You ask for knowledge and wisdom.
Yeah. Put me on, let me know how you, you know what I'm saying? So it's different. But I think that, there's a lot of relationships that go bad and there's never a conversation had. And I think that's what I'm more so getting to. What happened when you fall out with someone that you love, but y'all never talk about it? Like I said in the opening, you start talking less, stop texting less. They don't show up for any of your things that mean the world to you, and vice versa.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna go to my background, which is a follower of Christ. When we separate, I'm gonna use God is intervening. Like, hey, that's not my path. That's not my plan. For me, it's just I'm gonna go back to what you said. Growth will separate you, and here's the determining factor. Growth will weed out what needs to be weeded out.
I believe
It's not necessarily your fault or anybody, but the growth in you, without saying anything, will separate the weeds from the wheat. Because you're growing, the weeds gonna weed themselves out.
For sure.
It's not a fact of, I think we get the point where we blame ourselves. Because as you know, in our culture, we have some of the most idiotic processes in life.
We honor the wrong things.
We honor the wrong things.
For sure.
That's the perfect way to say it. We honor the wrong things that stop another brother from becoming all he can be in a legal format. Because we hold a culture and the street rules to him. Instead of saying, brother, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's keeping it to the point of pushing your brother. But we get to the point where we feel like, because you're leaving me, I got to bring you back down. The crabs in the bucket mentality.
But why do you think that's an acceptable behavior in our culture?
Why?
Yeah.
It's been trickled down. The street laws or the street rules in our culture reign supreme in every aspect. When you think about it, the drug dealers and the people in our neighborhoods, they got all the accolades.
Mm-hmm.
What are people doing wrong? Not really doing it the right way. But we have, for example, 4.0 student in high school, scholarship office, all these good things. When he's getting ready to go to college, family shows up to the party, the celebratory celebration before he leaves. But you got Mike getting out of prison for the fourth time. Man, he a hero. Man, let's throw another. And it's the fourth party. How many times we gonna throw a party for this guy coming out of prison?
Right.
So it goes back to what we celebrate. We celebrate the wrong things in our culture.
So let's stop right there and let's sort of pivot, right? So the way we operate as Black men as a whole, right? We talked about, being competitive. We talked about some of us compare to each other, which ultimately, evolves into probably hate or enviousness or jealousness, whatever the case may be, right? But I think if you said, a lot of it may be a taught behavior. So let me break that down for a second, right? So I always say that there's conditioning and then there's teaching.
Correct.
Right? And I think that, Black men, because to your point, we glorify the wrong things, we honor the wrong things. We also have gotten to a place where we don't mean anything to one another, right? And I think at the core of any relationship, right? Brotherhood, fellowship, it's about mutual respect. You know what I'm saying? Am I my brother's keeper, right? And what that means is, kind of bringing it back in focus to, brotherhood is under construction, right? I think that there's things that we are conditioned to, or from a relationship perspective. I think, we talked about this several episodes, on this podcast and the Sincerely Yours podcast, right? About what masculinity looks like.
Correct.
What Black men not having a safe space to be vulnerable, right? And I was looking, I can't recall which, I think it was Cam Newton's podcast with, I'm gonna mess up the brother's name.
Talking about Jason Wilson?
Yes. Yeah. I thought that was a powerful piece.
That was beautiful.
I thought it was a powerful piece. I thought Cam needs to grow up. He's immature. But you know what I noticed from that episode? I think Cam is misunderstood. I also think Cam is hurting. And he is trying to heal himself silently.
Jason mentioned.
you know?
And when Jason mentioned that and that phrase, I think they went to, he said, you deflect a lot of brother.
He
You
does.
deflect a lot, brother. And I was so, and I know we're getting off subject, but I was so happy he said deflect because when I was listening to it, it was powerful. All I kept saying was, dang, Cam, I know you, and I love Cam. I know you're disciplined. I know you can do anything. But I said, brother, you full of excuses. And deflection and excuses to me the same, but I say you're full of excuses. I say, I'd rather you say, Cam, look here, man, I just love the ladies. And I
So
got to work on that instead of trying to figure out reasons, excuses, why you do it.
I'm going to bring it back in focus.
Yeah, bring it back.
So that's another layer, if you will,
Yeah.
in the issues that we have and why brotherhood, black brotherhood, is under construction.
Absolutely.
To your very point, you know, most times if we call one another, when we do call each other, not you and I, you know, but, you know, men, period.
Correct.
You call people and you say, hey, bro, what's good? What's going on with you?
I'm all good, baby.
Bro, I'm all good, bro.
I'm all good, man.
And it's a fucking lie.
Hurt.
Hurt.
Dying.
Physically and mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You
Dying.
cooked.
Dying.
But it's like we would rather
Die.
let that pride,
We'd rather die.
let that pride lead with pride and that bravado instead of saying, hey, it's okay for you to check in. If that's your bro, I'm not talking about an acquaintance. I'm not talking about an associate. See, because what people that I say are my bro and that I tell them I love them, I really mean it. Because I'm not a person to just say shit just to be saying it.
But I'm gonna use Jason with I'm gonna interject.
Okay.
The title hits me differently when you said it. Brotherhood under construction.
Okay.
The brotherhood under construction is us.
Yeah.
Our individual selves are under construction from pride.
Yeah.
From saying, hey man, I'm hurt.
Yeah.
When you call, how you doing? Man, I'm suffering right now.
Yeah.
Man, I'm just going through X, Y, and Z. And man, I'm glad you called. Can I talk to you for a minute? That's the vulnerable state that we refuse to go into.
That's what I'm saying. And that's why I think it ties back to conditioning.
Condition.
Right? We got to be hard.
Oh, we got to be.
And most of us, to be honest, you know, and I talk about this all the time openly, you know, I didn't become a true man probably into my early 30s. And don't get me wrong, I was forced to grow up very early and think I was a man, right? But I'm talking about truly a full-grown man.
Mind, body,
mentally,
soul, and spirit.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Mind, body, soul, and spirit, understanding what
I mean, because there's some 50-year-old little boys running around here.
I was
you know
the
what I'm
same way.
saying?
It was to my late 30s.
You know what I'm saying?
Before I realized what it was to be a man, meaning not, because 18, your age, whatever it is, doesn't make you a man. Just makes you that age.
Yes, and again, I think, you know, at least from my upbringing, we were taught to be hard, not to be men.
No.
See, a man can love you, a man can give life, a man can take life, a man can cry, a man can do a whole lot of things.
Man forgives.
A man forgives.
Man loves.
A man sympathizes and empathizes with others. A man is selfless, not selfish. You see what I'm saying? So my point is, I think, you know, pride prevents us from excelling and evolving into the people and the men in the community that we were destined and created to be. And
go ahead.
And no, I'm just going to say that, you know, again, just going back to, you know, calling somebody up, calling your man up. Hey, bro, what's good with you? What's going on? Oh, I'm good. It could be dealing with cancer, fucking whatever. But just the pride. You know what I'm saying? Pride. And then, you know, after the pride erodes, then it is withdrawal. You don't hear from him. You don't see him. You know what I'm saying? And I think, like, yeah, you don't share your business with everybody. But again, I go back to you. If you're my bro, we brothers. This is what I'm here for. Real quick, I seen this. I saw this thing on. I think it may have been like Instagram or something, and one of those faceless channels. The ones that talk about real men do these
Right.
nine things
Yeah. Yeah.
or whatever the case may be. And, I scroll left or whatever direction I scroll to
Mm-hmm.
go to the next one. And I seen this faceless channel, and the guy was like, you know, people go through their life claiming friends and saying that they have 20 friends, 30 friends, and blah, 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 blah. And the guy just broke it down, and he was talking about they're not your friends, and he gave you a whole list of reasons. And it was so powerful because it was literally like a 35-second clip. And at the end, he said, here's a friend. He said, ask yourself, how many of you have the type of friends that you can call them 0200 in the morning, 0400 in the morning, and say, I'm on my way. And they ain't gonna ask no question. They say, I'm gonna be out in front of the garage. No questions asked. How many of us, and that got me thinking, how many of us got friends that way? How many motherfuckers gonna see your ass call and hit ignore?
I'll be like, I get back to him in the morning.
Right.
And the reason I say that is I have a friend of mine. I was on business and travel. I was in Germany. And he called.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at his name. I called him back. He know I'm traveling. But for me, the Holy Spirit said,
Answer.
and I answered. And he said, man, what's going on? I said, what's happening, brother? You calling? What's up? He said, man, I just need you. I need you to pray with me. And we prayed.
Yeah.
And we prayed and we talked. And not till yesterday, I saw him. He said, let me tell you the real reason I called you to pray. But when we talked about it, he was going through some things, but he just didn't reveal it over the phone.
Yeah.
We just prayed about giving him, the Lord giving him what he needed at that time, the strength and the provision to get through whatever he was going
Absolutely.
through. But he never revealed it, but he revealed it yesterday. Go back to what you're saying. Sometimes that's when you find out who's your friends, who answer that call. Because I'll be honest, I was like, man, I call. My mind wasn't like I ignored him, he's not a friend. I was like, man, I get to him in the morning, man.
Look, real rap, if you call me at that time in the morning, I know something wrong. Because I'm like, fuck he calling me? It got to be something crazy going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's just the way I think.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
like
Because
that.
it's like respect. Because you ain't going to call me just to be like, man, shoot the shit at that.
Let's talk at 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
What?
But if you call me and, even, our relationship with people that we have
Correct.
those deep relationships with, and have that longevity and understand, you know what I mean? Have that understanding. It's so many people that go through life that don't even have one person that they make that connection with. And if you lucky to do 2 or 3, I mean, because I'm going to be honest with you, I cut people off. And I might be contradicted by I'll cut you off. I mean, you do some nut shit around me or some shit I don't like, I'm gonna cut you off. And I guess it's because of how I view manhood. Again, earlier when I was talking about men relationships are not that complex.
No, that's simple.
You see what I'm saying? Like if you're not my father, you're not my boys, my children, or my brother, or maybe an uncle that actually did something for me. There should never be any complexity between our relationships. It should just be love. It just should be like, bro, I got you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think that men, the reason why brotherhood is under construction, I think men need to get back to being men. I think it's a lot of men out here and we don't want to, as men, it's almost like we refuse to have these conversations. And it ain't all the YNs, the young boys that's
50.
nut. It's 50 and 60-year-olds who's teaching or should be teaching, So I think the reason why it's under construction is we got to get back to the principles of being men and what that means. You know what I mean? Like it's certain things that men should do and should not do. And I think, last point, I think that, a lot of men these days of all ages, they're more emotional and they act like females. They on social media more than females. They're scrolling up and right and left and backwards and all that goofy shit. And it's like, one thing that I think in our community is a major problem. You know what I mean? Everybody would rather be a broke boss than a rich teammate. Think about that.
It's good. Elaborate on that.
Instead of like crab in a barrel mentality that you're saying, instead of coming and working with me, right? Whatever profession it may be, right? A lot of us would rather do the same shit I'm doing and be my competitor, be competition instead of working with me. And that's the problem that we have versus, and I'm going to say it, and it's going to probably ruffle some feathers, but it is.
Ruffle them.
When you look at like the Mexicans and a lot of Hispanics, they stick to fucking together, man.
But you said something about compete with you. It's even worse than that. A lot of us don't even want to compete with you. We just want to destroy you. We just want to part of the negative. We want to say what you're not doing. We go point out all the things that are wrong, but and that's not with facts.
Yeah.
Just rumors.
Yeah.
So we're willing to tear you down before we help you grow, and or come up to you and say, "Hey, I love what you're doing. Here's some ideas to help you grow. Maybe I can partnership with you."
But see,
we
we
ain't thinking like that.
We ain't doing that.
We ain't thinking about it like that.
I got to figure out whatever your niche is and make it my niche and compete and sabotage both of us.
I want yours and mine.
Exactly.
And
so, how? No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying it's the under construction, but it's going back to, like you saying, repairing ourselves as young men, as middle-aged men, as older men, and learning to love ourselves. And like you say, teaching each other how to grow as men.
Yeah.
And how you grow as a man is not masculinity.
Yeah.
See, in our community, we confuse becoming a man with masculinity only. Becoming a man is learning how to, as we stated earlier, how to love, how to forgive, how to show love to our children, how to hug our children, how to speak to our friends, how to do the unmasculine things.
Yeah.
It's not about being strong. See, in our culture, being a man means being strong.
Yeah, hard.
No emotions.
Hard.
Oh man, how many bodies you got? That's not being a man. Being a man is being able to say, man, I have a child or two. I need to love my children. When I had these children, I need to teach them how to be better than me, not go down the same path as me. I need to love my wife. I need to love my mother. I need to love the people that's around. That's being a man, but we have confused becoming a man with only being strong, masculine, no tears, not soft. What we see in the movies, a killer, this or that. That's not a man.
I think also to your point, and I think it extends further than just like your core or your immediate family, right?
Yeah.
I think manhood is about establishing relationships with like-minded brothers.
Correct.
Right? It absolutely is, because I think, from a man's perspective and from a married man's perspective, we need time where we can just go out with the fellas.
Oh yeah.
We need that. Just like our wives, they need the time when they can go out and hang and relax.
But elaborate on that.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Hang out with the fellas, but you ain't hanging out with a bunch of single men. When you
No, I'm not. No,
Yeah,
I'm hanging out with. That's why I said like-minded.
Yeah,
men.
like-minded man.
You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that if you're a married man, you can't have your best partner, your best bro could be single. But I think if he's a man and he really respects you and values the relationship that you have, he's not going to put you in a trick
position.
bag.
No.
You know what I mean? He's not going to put you in. He's going to be respectful of what you built. Actually, he probably should admire you.
He gonna tell you, no, dog. You can't come tonight.
You set this one out.
You know what I mean?
This
ain't for you, baby.
So I do think like it's very important to tell people how you feel about them. Tell your brothers how you feel about them. One thing that I do is I always tell my boys, I love them, right?
Absolutely.
I love them. I kiss them, no matter 21, 25, whatever. I'm going to do it. Now I ain't going to kiss my bros. I ain't going to kiss you. But I'll tell you, I love you, bro.
I love you, man.
It ain't nothing, suspect about that, right? And I think, like, again, we're just taught to be so hard, so tough. It's like you just can't, you like almost like you're emotionless. And you can't be that way because it drains you inside.
I want to elaborate a little bit on the love portion. I tell my boys and the girls, hey, I love you. I tell my dad I love him.
Yeah.
But when I tell my dad I love him, because my dad is 81.
Yeah. He ain't jacking it.
Hey, man, I talk to you later.
Yeah, he getting off because.
But I know he loves me.
Oh yeah.
I have
Oh
no
yeah.
doubt he
Yeah.
loves me. But he comes from a culture where
They didn't do it.
they didn't do
They
it.
didn't do it.
So where I wanted to go with love, when you tell your boys love, and you tell your sons love, or you tell your friends, I love you.
Yeah.
See, your love, and you got to think about the street love. All right, dog, I love you. See, that's two different types of love.
Oh, for sure.
See, your love is with your kids and your friends is, dog, I love you. You can come to me anytime. If you need advice, I'm going to give you the right advice.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you that's wrong. But
Yeah.
do you like it or not? Their love is, man, I love you for some foolishness.
Yeah.
They're not. See, love is identified, and this is my opinion, where I can tell you wrong from right.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, dog, don't do that.
Yeah.
That street love is, dog, I love you because you're doing this foolishness with me.
Well, all my bros, all my true friends, I think they love it and hate it about me. They know that I'm just going to tell them directly.
That's what you're supposed to do.
You know what I mean? And I think you need people in your life like that. And, one of my close friends, right? I don't think we didn't have I don't want to say a falling out, but we kind of did. And I'm not talking about the other guy. I'm talking about somebody that's really earned my respect. And, over the years, we've been friends now for, I don't know, 20 plus years. And look, I am not one of those type of people that say, hey, duration means the work is the main factor. It does not, right? Because I've met people within the last 5 years that I have more respect for and have a closer relationship versus people that I've known for 30 years. You see what I'm saying?
That's growth.
But one thing I will tell you, about the situation that I'm about to talk about, he and I had a disagreement, right? I'm a tough person to like, and I get it. I'm a very quiet taste, right? Look, I get it, and I'm fine. But my OG, my old head, told me one time, and this is his words, right? He was like, "Good niggas are unlikable." He said, "You a good nigga." He said, "That's what he told me." He said, "Good." He said, "Don't you ever think about switching up or changing who you are. Good niggas are unlikable." And I thought about it. I was like, "Oh, I'm tracking." And he was like, "Here's why. They're not likable because a good nigga is gonna tell you the right things, even when you don't want to hear it. A good nigga is gonna hold a mirror up to your face and let you see who you are and how you acting out of pocket. A good nigga ain't gonna go for all the nut shit that everybody else go for.
Right.
A good nigga, and most important, gonna hold you accountable." And he said, with those characteristics, a lot of people don't want that person in their life. People like to be spoon fed. People like people to placate to them. People like people to gaslight them. I don't do that. And I'm going to land the plane, right? So me and my boy, this is how I knew, and we didn't talk for like 2 years.
Right.
Almost 2 years, right? But the last conversation we had, he told me he loved me, and I told him I love him back. Even though I had in my mind, I'm gonna put this nigga in timeout. I did after that at that call because I felt like I'm not going to get into the details,
Right.
but I felt like things were sad, and it wasn't even disrespectful. We didn't get loud. It's just some things like you can never compare me to a nut nigga in your life because I'm not that guy, and we had been through a lot of stuff together. And when I tell you, and I ain't gonna get into detail, but there was a time that I was a cancer to our community. You dig what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Like I participated in a lot of negative things that
Some activities.
hurt our community.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you just a really quick story. I'm not gonna get into detail. But when I said calling somebody at 02 in the morning, 04 and they say, hey, I'm gonna be out front waiting for you. He was that type of guy
That dude.
for me. And I remember one day being in the streets and doing street activities. I had a problem, right? And I called him up, told him I got a problem. He said, come through and pick me up. No questions asked. And this is why I always have respect for him, and I always laugh and tell him that was the dumbest shit both of us did. Because he went off and had a phenomenal career in the military and doing his thing, and then I went off and had a phenomenal career in my respective field, right? And I often think about it. I can never be mad at this guy ever. Like he might annoy me a little bit because we're very different. You know what I mean? He's very open-hearted and almost gullible at times, and I'm not. Like I tell you, I'm not a nice person, right? But that meant the world to me because I can count on one hand, hell, 3 fingers, 3 people that would ride for me, no questions asked. And I just think about it now, 20 plus years later, while I respect that, that was the dumbest shit because he not a street guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? He came from 11 2-parent home. But the love that he had for me, he got in that car that day
To come get you.
to ride with me. And if I would have seen these people I had problems with,
You both gone.
I wouldn't be here. You would never met me. You know what I mean? And my point is this. While I respect that, for a lot of years, especially when I became into a man, an adult, I regretted doing that because as his friend, his brother, I should have never put him in that situation because he's not a street guy at all. Now, if we would have got, popped or whatever the case may be, then I would have took it because he got in a car with me and he didn't know where we were going. He didn't know what I was going to do.
And we see, and I don't mean to cut you off, what you explain is what we see in the movies all the time.
Yeah.
The good kid gets it. Kid that's in the streets walks away with no scratches.
Right.
And I'm glad to hear you say, I feel some kind of way that I put him in that position.
Yeah.
Although nothing didn't happen.
Yeah.
But it shows that you have a heart and you consider him a true friend. Because now looking back on it, you're like, the dumbest thing I ever did.
I did a lot of dumb shit.
But
I did a lot of nut shit.
To put him in a position where he could have been sacrificed for something that he don't enroll like that. And friendship should always be valued.
Yeah.
I got a boy, a buddy of mine, man. I consider him a friend for the simple fact. In Louisiana, we graduated together. It's my boy. We go sometimes 2 or 3 years, man, 4 years without really talking.
Yeah.
But when I go home, man, it's like we ain't miss a beat.
That's how you know y'all really locked in.
We all, it's like, we don't say, hey, man, you ain't call or text. Like, no, man, I meet you here, man, we'll hang out, man. But we just chop it. That's a friend. Nobody is holding anybody like hostage.
Yeah.
A friend doesn't hold another friend hostage.
Right.
Your decision is your decision.
Absolutely.
Your path is your path. A lot of times we hold each other hostage on friendship. If we're friends, why are you holding me hostage?
Right.
Why you treat me like an enemy? We're friends. Hostages are of the enemy. I'm your dog, but you're holding me hostage. And you said something earlier, and we was just talking about our culture, and I think you and I talked about it. I said, man, the two most dangerous things, you was talking about truth. The two most dangerous things in our culture isn't drugs, guns, and all that. It's the truth and excuses.
Mm-hmm.
We hate them too. Because the truth gonna have to make you accountable, and you can't use excuses. See, the excuses keep you from growing. The truth keeps you from growing. Because you don't want to hear the truth. And when you hear the truth, if it's from a black man, you're a sellout.
Yeah.
You ain't no good. If it's from a white person, oh, they racist.
Yeah.
Well, if he can't tell you nothing, then he can't tell you. Who can tell you something?
So I think you make some very valid points. One thing I would say is, brotherhood ain't automatic. Just because you black and I'm black, it's maintenance, right? It's about making appropriate space for brotherhood
Mm-hmm.
and setting boundaries. How do we create new brotherhoods rooted in purpose and not just proximity?
I think you said something in the beginning that was very profound. There's going to be some separation.
Yeah.
And once you realize everybody is not made to come on this journey or your journey or my journey, life becomes easy. So in our culture, we think we got to bring everybody. And we hear all the horror stories. We made it to the NFL or NBA. Feel like got to take care of all his boys. Why? And we came up together. To a certain point, I don't mind helping. But when you feel like I got to take care, it has to be some separation and not feel bad
Yeah.
from both parties. Not just from the guy that made it, from the guy that didn't. You can't hold the guy that made it hostage
Right.
to say, man, he's supposed to take care of me. Why? Why are you supposed to take care of you?
Yeah.
I wake up every morning, and this took me some years. I haven't did this my whole life. It took me a long time to realize the only person I compete and compare myself to is myself
You.
every morning.
Yeah.
I don't compete. I don't compare myself to nobody else, and I don't expect nobody to take care of me. Because whatever God has for you, and whatever success, plan, and purpose He has for you, that's yours. He doesn't require you to take care of me. He requires me to be the man to take care of myself. We get it twisted in our culture. Like, man, we grew up together. We supposed to take care of me. Why? That's the question I always had. Why?
Yeah. Yeah. You're absolutely
He
right.
didn't give birth to you.
Exactly.
Why is he obligated to take care of you?
He's not.
He's not.
So I think that, what you just said could be a whole another show, right? It really could. I think that, we have to set realistic expectations on defining what relationships are,
Mhm.
right? And
Absolutely.
we've said this before. You really have to clearly define what expectations are,
Mhm.
right? Almost down to a damn racy. And I said this before, and people just look at me like, what are you talking about? But no, I'm serious. It's because with any relationship, if you don't set boundaries and you don't set expectations,
Mhm.
then the relationship is going to not be
Well, you
balanced,
set
right? It's
them
going
for
to be
failure.
unbalanced, right? And I think like with black men, in our quest to establish brotherhood and fellowship and all those things. I do think that we need to understand relationships take work, require work, right? It can't be one way. It can't be one person taking, because that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
One of my favorite quotes that I heard is, you know, givers have to set boundaries because takers never will.
Hey, I heard that too. That's it. That's
You know what I
true.
mean? And I think that brotherhood or rebuilding brotherhoods is very possible for us.
Mhm.
I do think that the men that's in our cultures, in our lives, in our communities, they need to really take the lead. And actually, what I do, I challenge you and I and those who's watching and listening in your own social circle, mentor a young man. You know what I mean? I'm thinking about creating this monthly brother call.
Mhm.
You know, I invite 15 brothers that I know. You invite 15 brothers you know, and you keep on, keep on, keep going, keep on. And I don't want to say it's a healing circle,
Mhm.
but I know a lot of brothers are in pain and they don't know how to articulate or express emotion.
Right.
And what I'm really trying to create is like a safe space that you can talk with other like-minded brothers who may not or probably not going through what you're going through at the moment,
Mhm.
but somebody on that call understands the language that you're speaking.
Can I go one step further?
Sure.
I love the call, but it's nothing like this right here.
Yeah.
Cause see, on a call I can put on.
Yeah.
But see, when you
You
face to
send your
face,
representative.
yeah. When I see you face to face, your body language can't lie.
Right.
You can say anything, but I'm looking at you. Yeah, you ain't telling the
Yeah.
truth.
You lying.
The call
That's a
is
cap.
yeah. The call is good, but the face to face is better. And that's what we have to do is get face to face and understand. Man, I'm not judging. I'm not putting you down. We all
Hold on. I love that. Holding our brothers accountable without shaming them.
yes. I'm
Love
not
it.
putting you down. I'm not judging you. We all got our vices.
Sure.
We all got our downfalls. Just because you don't see mine,
Yeah.
don't mean I don't
Don't
have
mean
them,
they exist.
and
Yeah.
vice versa.
For sure.
But so much for the facade that we don't have them. We all got it. We all got something that a vice
Yeah.
or something we working towards getting better. But getting together and understanding what it means to be a man. What's the hardest thing in life to do?
There's plenty of hard things to be.
But the number one thing in life
What is
to
it?
me, and that's my opinion,
What is it?
change.
Hmm.
Change is hard. You know why? It causes you to do some work.
Yeah.
It causes you to leave some things behind
Oh, for sure.
that you connected to. And our culture, what we hate?
Change. And truth.
Change and truth. We hate the change. Why? Because we hate to leave what we left behind.
Well,
And the example,
I think.
let me
mean,
give you
cut
this one. The example I give you, you grab somebody from the inner city where it's always sirens, gunshots, always ruckus, confusion, always the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Satan is the master of confusion.
Oh, absolutely.
You bring them to a quiet neighborhood, you know the first thing they get out the car. How you live here, man?
Yeah,
It's so quiet.
Too quiet.
How
Yeah.
you exist here, man?
Yeah. Ain't shit going on.
Can't stand
Yeah.
peace. Can't stand peace.
But I think change also requires accountability.
Oh yeah,
And that's I would say that's the
self-accountability.
yeah,
Self-accountability.
Yeah. So I think that's the second or third thing that we don't like to do, right?
But that's why I say change
Yeah.
is so hard, because change have you look in the mirror every
Yeah.
day and say, you know what? If you truly are trying to change, you're not looking at what's to your left, your right, your rear, your front. You're looking in the mirror and saying, I got to start with me. So that's why change is so hard for everybody. I don't care if you rich, poor, middle class, whatever, change is hard because you got to really look at yourself and you got to identify what's wrong with you, change it. But you also got to be willing to listen with somebody else say, that's hard. They say, man, you know what? You're a jerk, man, in these areas.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to hear that.
So I think that's a great exit to wrap the show tonight. One of my final thoughts is, the streets may have raised us, the pain might have shaped us, but it's brotherhood that saves us.
Cool.
Nobody's been on this world, this earth, to be alone. And I think, the power of having positive people, positive brothers, like-minded brothers in your life, it's one of those, I look at it as like a superpower. Right? I look at having the right social circle, inner circle.
Mm-hmm.
It's like having an extra passenger or multiple passengers to help you go through the trials and tribulations, the rough times, the rough roads of life. And look, if you're 40 plus years old, no, I'm not even gonna go that route. Just if you're a young man, middle-aged man, or a senior man, I think some point in your life, you need to understand that if you have 20 friends, you need to change your circle, and something's really off with you.
Clean it up.
Because there's no way you have 20 friends. I'm
Not
talking
true
about
friends,
true friends.
Clean it up.
You know what I mean? So I think that, it's an opportunity for two things.
Yes.
Right? One is, if there's a real one out there, if it's somebody that life has gotten in the way, for whatever reason, but like you said, with you and your partner, you might not speak for 2 years or 3 years. When you meet, you pick back up like it was yesterday. That means that y'all truly friends.
Oh, yeah.
And one of my boys that that's how he and I, now we're closer. We're much closer because he lives a very similar life that I do.
Right.
He's married, children, all the beautiful side of life, right?
He grown.
But when he was single, me and his brother, we'll probably say what's up or maybe text or call each other maybe once or twice a year or something, if that. But every time that we went out, it was like nothing changed. It's like we picked right up. So getting back to, the closing statement that I was going to make, I think that...
Before you make that statement, let me make one, then you can close out. Okay. Because I don't want to disturb your close out. To everyone or anyone that listened to it, we closed out on change.
Yeah.
I think we both want to encourage people to change.
Absolutely.
To not only have brotherhood under construction, but put the construction sign up.
Yeah.
And let people know I'm under construction.
Absolutely.
To change, it's like driving.
Yeah.
If you see the detour sign or the sign, the arrow pointing to the left, you got to change lanes.
Yeah.
If you don't change lanes, you're going to run into things.
For sure.
Changing, it's about changing lanes. So I think we both just want to encourage people to change. Put the sign up and don't be afraid of putting, as men, young men, I don't care what your age, don't be afraid of putting up the sign and say, I'm under construction. I'm under construction, man.
You know what? I love look, that's going to be the closing message then. I think it's perfect. It's a perfect segue. This was a real conversation, as all of our conversations are on the Late Night Traffic Report. So we're signing off. Your boy, Mr. Sencere, my guy, Big Mike. Till the next time, stay sturdy, choose wisely, and we'll
Wake
catch you
up,
in
it's
traffic.
prime time.
Yay.
That's me and my, from the construction site to the boardroom shine. Young professionals alive, building on track. Got my brothers beside, there ain't no looking back. We earning high, but our wealth ain't quite settled yet. Still stacking assets, dodging all the debt. We rising from the bottom to the top. That's the Henry status, and the work just won't stop. I earn an average, yeah. Gotta stack it up, gotta build it up. What our brother's true. We ain't stopping, no, we only see the future view. The vision's clear, yeah, the foundation's laid strong. Every single brick is where we truly belong. We building now, we building up.